Pre-Russell era, 1946 to 1956. The NBA didn't start as a global powerhouse, it started as a side hustle. In 1946, hockey arena owners were losing money on nights without ice, so they thought, what if we stick a basketball hoop in here and charge people? That gamble became the Basketball Association of America. The first game ever, New York Knicks versus Toronto Huskies. Imagine buying a ticket not realizing you're watching history, just hoping someone scores more than 40. The Knicks won by 2, and boom, pro basketball was officially alive, even if nobody cared yet. Joe Fulks became the league's first star. He averaged 23 points a game in an era where defenses moved slower than Windows 95. He led the Philadelphia Warriors to the first championship, but the celebration didn't last. 4 teams folded immediately after year 1. This league was one bad month away from becoming trivia. Then came the Minneapolis Lakers. They poached George Mikan from a rival league, and Mikan turned basketball into a hostage situation. Big, slow hook shots over dudes who looked like your grandfather. He dropped nearly 30 a night, bullied teams in the finals, and stacked titles. The Lakers became the NBA's first dynasty. By 1949, the BAA merged with the National Basketball League, rebranding as the NBA with 17 teams. But half of them folded faster than cheap lawn chairs, leaving 11 by 1950. One bright spot? The NBA's color barrier shattered. Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, and Nat Clifton became the first African-American players, planting seeds for the future. Still, the game was painfully slow until one change saved basketball, the 24-second shot clock in 1954. Suddenly, offenses had to shoot, games sped up, and fans finally got action. The NBA was no longer unwatchable cardio. It was becoming a sport, and right as the pace picked up, a dynasty was brewing in Boston. Russell versus Wilt era, 1957 to 1969. Bill Russell entered the league in 1957 and instantly broke it. In his rookie year, Game 7 of the finals, he grabbed 32 rebounds. 32. That wasn't rebounding. That was vacuuming the court. The Celtics won their first title and Russell was just getting started. The only hiccup? 1958. Russell sprained his ankle, and Bob Pettit of the St. Louis Hawks went nuclear, dropping 50 in the clincher. But after that, the Celtics became the final boss of basketball. 8 straight championships, built on defense so suffocating it should have been illegal. Then came Wilt Chamberlain. As a rookie in 1960, Wilt averaged 37 points and 27 rebounds. Those are not typos. He was dropping numbers that made the box score look drunk. In 1962, he famously scored 100 points in a single game and averaged 50 for the season. That wasn't basketball. That was a grown man hooping against middle schoolers. But here's the thing, Wilt's stats didn't equal rings. Russell's Celtics kept eliminating him. Wilt put up 40, 50, 60, didn't matter. Boston always had the last laugh. The rivalry was everything. Wilt was the monster, Russell was the dragon slayer. One man chased numbers, the other built a dynasty. Wilt finally broke through in 1967, leading the Sixers to 68 wins and a championship. But in 1968, Russell, now both player and coach, came back from a 3-1 deficit against Wilt's Sixers. He then retired in 1969 with 11 championships, more than entire franchises combined. The Russell versus Wilt era taught the NBA a lesson. Numbers make headlines, but rings build legends. Kareem and the 1970s. As Russell walked away, the next giant arrived. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Lou Alcindor, stepped into the NBA in 1970 and immediately turned the Milwaukee Bucks from last place to title contenders. He averaged 29 and 15 as a rookie, then teamed up with Oscar Robertson to win it all in 1971. And Kareem's weapon? The skyhook, the most unstoppable shot in basketball history. He could take it from anywhere, and no defender alive could block it. It was like a cheat code disguised as elegance. Meanwhile, the Lakers made history of their own in 1972 with a 33-game win streak, the longest in NBA history. Wilt reinvented himself as a passer, and Jerry West finally got his long-awaited ring. But the decade was unpredictable. The Knicks won in 73. Rick Barry shocked the league in 75, leading the Warriors to a finals sweep nobody saw coming. By the mid-70s, the NBA was messy. The ABA merged in 1976, bringing in the three-point line, dunk contests, and Julius Erving, Dr. J, who turned basketball into performance art. His soaring dunks made highlight reels before highlight reels even existed. But through all the chaos, Kareem was the constant. MVP after MVP, dominance year after year. He wasn't flashy, but he was inevitable. The 70s proved the NBA could be stylish, unpredictable, and global. Magic versus Bird, 1980s. The NBA was struggling in the late 70s. Low ratings, drug scandals, tape-delayed finals. Then, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird showed up and saved the league. Their rivalry started in college, Magic's Michigan State beating Bird's Indiana State in the 1979 NCAA title game. A year later, they entered the NBA, and suddenly, the Celtics and Lakers were back on top. Magic was Showtime. 6'9", running the floor, throwing no-look passes like he had eyes in the back of his head. The Lakers were fast, flashy, and must-see TV. Kareem, Worthy, Cooper, they were Hollywood basketball. Bird was the opposite. Slow, white, looked like a construction worker, but a killer. He'd tell you where he was going to shoot from, then bury it in your face. He won 3 straight MVPs in the mid-'80s, something Magic never did, and he trash-talked like it was an Olympic sport. Their finals battles were legendary. Celtics in '84, Lakers in '85, Celtics again in '86, with one of the greatest teams ever. Then, the Lakers took over in '87 and '88. It was a heavyweight fight that lasted the entire decade. But more than wins and losses, Magic and Bird brought the NBA back to life. They made the finals must-watch TV. They gave the league personalities, drama, and storylines. Without them, the NBA doesn't become the global entertainment giant it is today. Bad Boys Pistons, late '80s to early '90s. While Magic and Bird owned the spotlight, another team lurked in the shadows, the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys. They didn't play basketball. They played demolition derby with a scoreboard. Isaiah Thomas was the leader, Joe Dumars the steady co-star, Bill Laimbeer the goon, and Dennis Rodman the rebounding maniac. Their defense was so violent it became infamous. The Jordan rules, an entire scheme designed to knock Michael Jordan on his ass every time he drove the lane. In 1989, they finally broke through, sweeping the Lakers in the finals. In 1990, they repeated, taking down the Trailblazers. Back-to-back titles built on grit, fouls, and intimidation. By 1991, though, Jordan got his revenge. The Bulls swept Detroit, and the Pistons walked off the court without shaking hands, a petty exit that cemented their role as villains forever. The Bad Boys didn't last long, but they mattered. They were the bridge between the flash of the '80s and the dominance of the '90s. They proved you didn't have to be loved to win. Sometimes being hated worked even better. Jordan era, 1991 to 1998. Then came Michael Jordan, not just a player, but a one-man empire. In 1991, he finally conquered the Pistons, then beat Magic's Lakers in the finals. That was the passing of the torch. The '90s were his playground. 6 championships in 8 years, 2 three-peats, 6 finals MVPs, and iconic moments every season. The Shrug in '92, the Dream Team in '92, the 55-point game after returning from baseball, the flu game in '97, the last shot in '98. Jordan didn't just dominate the NBA, he globalized it. Air Jordans turned sneakers into culture. Space Jam turned him into a movie star. The Dream Team made him a global icon. The scariest part? He never lost in the finals. 6 trips, 6 wins, 6 MVPs. Jordan wasn't just the face of the NBA, he was the face of sports worldwide. Shaq, Kobe, and Duncan, 1999 to 2010. After Jordan retired, the throne was vacant, and 3 men fought for it: Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan. Shaq was a wrecking ball. 7'1", 325 pounds, dunking so hard backboards needed therapy. Paired with young Kobe, the Lakers won 3 straight titles from 2000 to 2002. Shaq dominated the paint. Kobe took over in the clutch. It was beautiful chaos until their egos exploded. While LA imploded, Tim Duncan and the Spurs quietly built a dynasty. Fundamentals, defense, and bank shots. Boring? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Duncan won 5 titles, 3 finals MVPs, and became the most underrated superstar ever. Kobe, meanwhile, proved he didn't need Shaq, winning back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010. He had the footwork of Jordan, the killer instinct of Jordan, and the obsession of Jordan. He wasn't MJ 2.0, he was Kobe. The 2000s were a 3-man relay of dominance. Shaq's power, Duncan's consistency, Kobe's willpower. Between them, they defined a decade. LeBron and Steph. 2010s. Then came the 2010s, ruled by 2 players who couldn't have been more different. LeBron James, the chosen one, the most hyped player in history. He took his talents to Miami, became the NBA's villain, then silenced everyone with 2 straight finals MVPs. He returned to Cleveland, delivered the city its first title with the block, and then took his talents to Hollywood. LeBron didn't just dominate games, he dominated narratives. Steph Curry, the assassin who broke basketball. He pulled up from 30 feet like it was nothing. He turned the three-point three-pointer from a weapon into the foundation of modern basketball. Kids stopped practicing layups and started shooting from the parking lot. His Warriors won 3 titles, broke the all-time wins record, and forced the NBA to evolve around him. LeBron controlled the story. Steph changed the game. The 2010s were their chessboard. The Global Takeover, 2020s. Now we're in the 2020s, and basketball isn't just global, it's intergalactic. Giannis Antetokounmpo dunks coast to coast like a Greek freight train. Nikola Jokic looks like he should be delivering pizzas, but casually drops 30-point triple-doubles in the finals. Luka Doncic is a Slovenian cheat code hitting step-backs that defy physics. And then there's Victor Wembanyama, 7 feet 4 inches, handles like a guard, wingspan like a pterodactyl. He's not a prospect. He's a glitch in the matrix. The 2020s aren't about one dynasty. They're about chaos. Every year feels wide open. International stars run the league, and the future, it feels limitless. Closer. From Mikan's hook shots to Curry's threes. From Russell's 11 rings to Jordan's perfect finals record. From Shaq breaking backboards to Jokic breaking analytics. Every era didn't just crown stars, it reinvented the game. The NBA has been chaos, dominance, style, and spectacle. But the real question is, which era was the greatest?